Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at Earth's closest companion, our only natural satellite, and quite frankly, humanity's ultimate destination, the moon. It's hung in our night sky, fascinating people for literally thousands of years. We see it almost every single night, right? But how often do we really stop to think about the incredible story behind that glowing orb? It's a wild story of destruction, of ancient mythology, of scientific revolution, and of unbelievable human courage. Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly did a massive, chaotic planetary collision eventually become humanity's greatest destination? We're going to trace a journey that spans billions of years. We'll go from unimaginable violence in the early solar system through ancient humanity's attempts to understand the cosmos, all the way to the breathless, high-stakes space race of the 20th century. Chapter 1. Born from Cosmic Collision. To truly appreciate what the moon is today, we have to rewind the clock way, way back to its incredibly violent birth, long before anyone was around to look up at the night sky. We are talking 4.5 billion years ago. That is a staggering scale of time we're dealing with here. Back then, our solar system was still this chaotic, swirling mess of debris and forming planets. And out of that unbelievable chaos, our only natural satellite was forged. It definitely wasn't always just peacefully orbiting us. And that brings us to the giant impact theory. The prevailing scientific consensus is that a rogue, massive object, something roughly the size of Mars, smashed directly into the young Earth. I mean, just try to imagine the sheer world-shattering energy of that collision. The debris from that massive impact was blasted out into space, got caught in Earth's gravity, and eventually gathered together over eons to become the moon we know today. We literally have a piece of a cosmic car crash orbiting us every night. Moving on to Chapter 2, Myths, Calendars, and Telescopes. Fast forward a few billion years, the dust has settled, and things have cooled down a bit. Let's shift our perspective from the cold vacuum of space down to the surface of ancient Earth, because this is where humanity's deep, complex relationship with our celestial neighbor really begins to take shape. Ancient civilizations here on Earth were absolutely captivated by the moon. Remember, they didn't have screens or artificial lights. They watched the night sky carefully and consistently. They used the moon's changing, predictable phases as a vital tool. It helps them create the very first calendars, plan their critical farming seasons, and time their festivals. But it was way more than just a clock in the sky. Many cultures believed the moon was a powerful, mysterious object deeply connected to their gods, their legends, and their most sacred myths. It was completely revered. Now, what's really interesting about this is the dramatic shift that happens next. For thousands of years, humans are looking up, thinking this glowing orb is a perfect, flawless, divine sphere made of some heavenly material. Enter the Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei in 1609. He points his newly improved telescope at the sky, zooms in, and essentially says, "Nope, just bumpy rocks." He completely shattered the illusion of a smooth, perfect sphere. Through that lens, Galileo discovered a remarkably rugged world. He saw towering mountains, deep, shadowed valleys, and jagged craters. This is a monumental moment for us as a species. This marks humanity's massive leap from pure myth-making into true scientific observation. The moon suddenly went from being an untouchable deity to a physical place, an actual world with geography, just waiting to be explored. Which brings us to Chapter 3, the lunar space race. As we enter the 20th century space age, the pace of human innovation absolutely skyrockets. What took billions of years to form and thousands of years to simply observe was suddenly within our physical reach in a matter of just a few decades. It was a geopolitical sprint like nothing the world had ever seen. In 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 2 made history. It became the very first human-made object to actually reach the moon. The starting gun had officially fired. Over the next 10 years, the technological acceleration was breathtaking, pushing the limits of engineering and bravery, all leading up to one specific, highly anticipated summer day in 1969. So, the crucial point is that on July 20th, the impossible actually happened. The Apollo 11 mission achieved what for centuries seemed utterly impossible. Neil Armstrong stepped out of the lunar module and became the first person to ever walk on the surface of the moon. This wasn't just a victory for a single nation or a single space agency. It was a testament to the absolute pinnacle of human ingenuity and determination. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Those words are permanently etched into our collective human consciousness. It was the absolute climax of our physical exploration at the time, proving that the boundaries of our world are only as limited as our imagination and our courage.
Finally, Chapter 4, Our Future on the Moon.
But the story definitely didn't end in 1969. We have to ask ourselves, since that monumental first step, why do so many countries continue to spend billions sending orbiters, landers, and high-tech rovers to the lunar surface today? What is pulling us back up there? Well, and this brilliantly illustrates it, our ongoing exploration is driven by some massive scientific goals. Because it lacks weather and active plate tectonics, the moon is basically a pristine time capsule. By studying it, scientists learn about the early history of Earth and the wider history of our entire solar system. But perhaps most exciting of all, we are actively researching the possibility of building future lunar bases. We're looking at the moon not just as a place to visit, but as a stepping stone. This drive to build bases and push further out into the solar system isn't just about rocks, rockets, and data. It's fundamentally about us. The moon continues to inspire scientists, explorers, and dreamers around the world. It stands as the ultimate symbol of our innate curiosity, our drive for discovery, and humanity's unyielding desire to explore the unknown. It's just human nature to look at the horizon and want to see what is past it. The moon was our first giant leap off this planet. It taught us how to leave our home and survive in the harshness of space. So the question I really want to leave you with is this. If this cold, cratered rock 238,000 miles away was just the beginning, where is our curiosity going to take us next? Mars? Beyond our solar system? The next time you're outside, just look up at the night sky and let yourself wonder. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring.